Okay, look, I've been sitting here for a solid half an hour now, and I've kind of bounced around on a bunch of different topics around autism, my experience, how getting diagnosed at 35 changed me as a person. I tried talking about rejection sensitive dysphoria and all of these things, and really, I just think I want to ramble at you for a little bit. So, if you've got a little task to do or something and you want to have a little bit of company, I would love to hang out with you for a little bit and just kind of talk about how things have been going and some thoughts that I've been having. I don't know, it's been a really weird time. Like when I'm filming this, we are very quickly approaching Christmas. So it's, this is, who knows when this is going up, right? I've been trying to batch film stuff and trying to, get a little bit ahead of the curve. And I'm having just so many weird kind of moments lately and thoughts and things. Just observations even. I was thinking as I was walking my dog the other night, I was thinking like something that really sucks that isn't really discussed all that much that I've seen anyways is what it feels like when you realize that somebody who knew you before you received your diagnosis, when you were still really high masking, that they feel differently about you now. And it's because you're not necessarily doing that song and dance anymore, and it's changed how they view you. You aren't the person that they thought you were necessarily, and fundamentally, I have not changed as a person. Okay, my values, the things that I care about, the things that I stand for have not changed, It has not changed. Like I am still me. I am still me. I'm still here. The presentation has changed. The presentation has really changed, and I've been seeing it more and more that I feel like I'm losing people. Like I'm losing people because I just don't match the, it's like you get a DVD, right? And you open the box and the actual disc is different than, like Blockbuster back in the day. Like sometimes they wouldn't, check to make sure you had the right movie, and you'd get home and you'd be like, oh my God, what is this? This is not what I wanted to watch. And then you have to go back and it's like a big disappointing experience. And it's sort of hard because I do have some people who have evolved with me, and I'm very fortunate to have I've got a friend who's known me all my life, since grade 4, and she in grade 4, that was when I started masking. I had been kind of trying to sort it out up until then, but in grade 4 you can start to see the problems. In my report cards and things, teachers up until then, it was very I was definitely the problem child, but in grade 4 things started to I started to really see that if I was going to survive, I was going to need to be anybody but me, okay? And I was sort of starting to put that puzzle together for myself. I've just completely lost my train of thought. Did you see it? Did you see it leave? It just like a puff of purple smoke, just gone. But oh yeah, so I had this dear friend, right? And we're still friends, which is just an incredible miracle that I'm grateful for so often. I hope she knows how I try to tell her. I hope she knows. But she kind of had it figured, a little bit. When I had first told her, I was like, yeah, so this is the thing, like autism. She was so funny because she's like, yeah, you used to line up your dinosaurs. And I remember I used to be so unhinged. Around her. Oh my God. I wish you all somebody that you feel that safe around, She's an absolute treasure. And then after receiving my diagnosis, I met another amazing person, and they've become an absolute treasure in my life. And that's a very different kind of friendship than any of the other friendships I've had, because they knew me as me. They've only known me like this. They've not, they've seen me because I was been on YouTube for a long time. So I used to be Courtney Mermaid on YouTube, and they knew me from that. They used to follow me, I guess, over there. And then when I found out and I had posted my video originally on that channel, and they were like, wait a minute, me too. Like, I'm autistic too. And then this beautiful friendship just blossomed out of that. And it's just a really interesting thing to see the comparison, to see the side by side. And it's also just a really interesting age to be at when you're trying to like rebuild a foundation, when like everybody's sort of lives are kind of just doing their thing. Like, you don't see people the way that you used to when you were young. It's far easier to hermit, to just be alone, to be just in your own company, and to never leave the house. Like, oh, thank God for my dog, who's sleeping so soundly. It's adorable. He's such a cute boy. These are just kind of things I've been thinking about lately, and I'm not really sure how best to handle, because, like, of course some friendships come and go, and relationships come and go, and things, some people are meant only for a season, and not necessarily for your lifetime. And that's okay too, right? Like, it breaks my heart a little bit when I think back to some of the people that I've lost. I can think of one person in particular that I said goodbye to, and I thought we'd absolutely grow old together. We'd be two little old biddies in an old folks home somewhere. And I'm still not even sure. And it's just like, friendships have never been an easy thing for me, because I'm not a reliable friend. I'm a compassionate friend. I am caring. I am patient. I try my best. I am maybe not the most generous. I can disappoint. I can be a bit of a disappointment, and I've definitely seen that over the years with people. And I used to make that the kind of center, like the center of the experience. Well, like, I'm the disappointment and I'm the problem. But the reality is, that is my safety mechanism, because if I'm the problem, you'll still like me because I know I'm the problem. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, does it? But basically, your bad attitude and your bad habits and your things that you do that are a problem for me, in my mind, will never be as big a problem as the problem that I am for you. I don't think that made any more sense, did it? It's just, it all comes down to, I really don't want to be the center of attention. Like, let me just, because you're like, you made a YouTube channel, dumbass. Like, of course you want to be the center of attention. No. The reason I have the YouTube channel is because you can't interrupt me. Nobody can interrupt me. I mean, except for the dog when he comes in with a squeaker toy or tries to jump up on me, or some idiot outside with a chainsaw. Heaven help me the other day. Oh my God. But I can't be interrupted on here. And that is really the main reason, is like, I have had something in here to say all my life, but nobody listens. Nobody wants to listen. So if you're sitting here and you're listening to me right now, like, thank you. Thank you. But it's up to you, right? I have put the message out there. It is out there in the universe from me to you, okay? But I've never really wanted to be the center of attention. I actually really just want to Homer Simpson my way through life, okay? Like, back up into the bush and just not be seen. Do you know what I mean? I just don't want it. It's like, any time that somebody does try to get me talking about something that I want to talk about, it just feels so foreign. It feels so foreign, and it feels so unsafe. And, that's probably something I could tack on in there with the rejection sensitive dysphoria, because being interrupted when you're in the middle of talking about something that you care a lot about, or when people do that thing that they do to indicate that they've had enough of listening to you. I wish I could be. I've got people in my life who do not pick up on the cues, you know? I wish I could do that. Wish I could not pick up on the cues. I wish I could just keep talking. But for some reason, I don't know what it is about me that just makes it possible for people to just right over top of everything I'm saying. I don't know. It's like I missed out somewhere because I have the volume. Okay? I can be very loud and I'm big. I'm not a small person. It was like I got everything but the oomph, but the like, you know, no confidence, zero confidence. I am actually a wildly insecure person, which is something that I'm working on. And is something that I'm a lot more secure than I used to be in myself, but I still have a long way to go. I have a long way to go. I've got a lot of inner work to do. But it's hard when, and this all kind of ties in, right? It's hard when you've never really had boundaries per se. Like your boundaries were kind of optional. It was kind of optional. It's kind of like, well, you know, sometimes they apply and sometimes they don't, kind of a thing. And so when you bring up that like, well, this doesn't work for me anymore, this is not okay anymore, I don't know, it pisses people off. I feel like I was waiting for my brain to come back to me there, so I'm not even really sure what the last sentence was that I said, but we're going to keep rolling with it, honestly. This is just going to be a chaotic hangout chat with me. I put it on a ruler. Did you notice? It's on a ruler now. I think it looks kind of cute. Hopefully that works. It's a little bit, I just like, look at the size of my hand compared to this teeny tiny little foof. So it's a little uncomfortable to hold, but it's a lot more fun to hold it than it is to not hold it. I don't know. I also, I swallow very loudly. I actually hate it so much. Make it stop. So with this pinned like here, all you can hear is me with the saliva in my mouth and like chewing and swallowing and blech. I hate it. So like that's a really helpful thing when you can't even stand the sound of your own body. Like that's so helpful. It's so helpful, universe. It's so helpful. Anyway, what else? Like I was at the pool today. I had a good swim. And this guy who was, now I'm going to make a bunch of assumptions here. I fancy myself a little bit of a master of reading your nonsense to keep myself safe, okay? So, I really enjoy the sensation of water, okay, a lot. And when I'm at the pool, I definitely stim a lot more than I do when I'm not. You know, it's just an opportunity. The flappy hands, like right. I'm also, I need a lot of like pressure on my joints. And so I make a lot of like, where I'm just extreme, like exerting force on all of my joints. And I was doing like there was a couple of good songs that came on and I was just kind of like rocking and like wibbling and just kind of being myself. Fucking imagine that, right? Jeez Louise. And I looked over and the look this guy shot me was like, I'm not even kidding you. Just like, I got to look at myself to make sure I'm doing it right. But it's like, okay, I'm sorry. How the fuck am I supposed to take that? So I hate eye contact, but I did like this. And he was like, I was like, you know what, man? Am I fucking hurting you? No, you don't like what I'm doing? Look in a different direction, man. I paid to be here. I have just as much right to be here and enjoy myself as you do. Whoa. Now, of course, maybe that had nothing to do with me. Maybe that had something to do with anybody else. Maybe he was off in his own little world. Maybe he didn't realize what kind of a face he was making. But my brain does what my brain does. And I take that face and I measure it against every other time that I've ever seen that face, and every other time I've ever seen that face, it's not been a good thing. It's not been a good thing. It usually comes with an insult. It usually comes with some snickering. It usually comes with some bullshit. Okay? But, like, that's the world that I live in, right? That's the world that I live in. Like, oh, am I sitting weird? What am I doing? Like, what's my face doing? Like, what am I? And so I get also frustrated because I police myself so freaking much. I'm constantly checking in. That's exhausting. It's exhausting. So why do you have an expectation that guy shouldn't be allowed to just, you know what? It's not an expectation on this one person. Okay? It's an expectation on society in general that, like, if throughout my life everybody and their, second cousin, sister's daughter's aunt hadn't made a shit assumption about me and followed through with some kind of fucking punishment, maybe I wouldn't be so bloody traumatized, okay? And then maybe we'd be in a different, so it runs deep, like the hurt runs deep. The hurt runs so deep, and I don't know, over the last couple of days, I really feel like I've actually hit some kind of a breaking point where my patience and my willingness to just comply has, like, tanked. Like, it's really tanked. Also, can we talk about Harley for a second? So that's Harley. That's my Triceratops, Eotriceratops. Did you know Eotriceratops was actually found in Alberta? It's very cool. It's not on display right now, but it is in the collection at the Royal Tyrrell Museum. And I really hope one day that I get to be able to see it. If they ever have it out on display again, I don't think they ever will, and it's going to just destroy me, but it's fine. But that's Harley. And she's my Eotriceratops in Path of Titans, and I love her so, so, so much. And the other day I had the opportunity with a really good friend who's, absolutely just an incredible, what do you want to call, like a dino pilot? What do you want to call? What do you call a person who plays, okay? But she's really good at combat. And so she took me out and we did a little bit of practice. And because I want to get a little bit better at Eotrike v Eotrike. Okay, I want to get a little bit better. Somebody challenged me and I was like, oh, okay, I gotta make sure I know what I'm doing because they've got new builds now, right? Anyways, I love the game, and the game itself is not my special interest. Dinosaurs is my just dinosaurs, specifically dinosaurs. I was Googling, I'm like, what type of dinosaur is Yoshi? Because Yoshi, you can see I've got a little Yoshi lanyard there. Yoshi is another, like, my beloved. And Yoshi is described as a dinosaur type dinosaur. I think I saw that on the wiki and I was like, what the hell is that? A dinosaur type dinosaur. What kind of dinosaur do you think? What about Dino? I figured this out the other day. I was like, why do I like the Flintstones so much? Because I used to love the Flintstones as a kid. That was on when I was a kid. Like the Flintstones. Oh my God. And the Jetsons. Oh geez. And then they had like a crossover movie too. It was so good. But I was like, why do I like the Flintstones so much? And I was like, because they literally live in dinosaur times. And it's so, I'm so unclear as to what era they actually live in, because I was like, okay, well, like that's a brontosaurus. And they have like, I don't know, there's so many like weird fake dinosaur species, but like what kind of dinosaur would Dino be? I have so many questions. Anyways. Did we just go on a journey? Did I take you with me? Oh boy. If you are still watching, I need you to comment and let me know, because that is absolutely priceless. I don't know. It's been a lonely year. I felt really alone this year. And if this is posting at the beginning of 2026, I'm sure it still applies. But it's just been kind of lonely. It's been lonely and it's been disappointing, and I don't know. I had a really bad pain flare last week and I could barely breathe. I could barely get up off the couch. It was horrible. I thought it was never going to stop. And it did, because it always does. And I've got like, strategies and things that I employ to deal with all of this. And that's good. But it was really bad, and I just couldn't believe it. So, but it's been a weird go. Feeling so out of control when it comes to my career choice and my life. That's been a struggle. And I know that, like, this was another thing I wanted to talk about with RSD, rejection sensitive dysphoria, in the video, the would-be video that I would have filmed if I could have pulled my head out of my ass. But it's like this is what I do. And I feel like people in a want to support me and to encourage me will tell me like, no, don't overdo it. Like, don't da 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 da. I don't do anything else. Do you understand? And I'm not bringing in money. I bring in negative money every month, and I am in debt now, which is a first for me in my life. I've been so fortunate that I was able to work through college, and I went to school at a time where it was still like reasonable, and then I've worked in animation for almost 10 years, and so like, but I'm not the mermaid thing was supposed to be the thing, right? Like, my mermaid job was supposed to be the thing that carried me through. And then tariffs, burnout, the dollar, like, I'm in Canada, it's a whole other kettle of fish. And if you're not familiar with the mermaid industry, we're not getting into that over here. I just kind of am ready to, I don't know. It's so hard because that was the the message that I always tried to promote and share wasn't what I was living by. And that feels so, I feel so fake. I feel like a liar, but it wasn't a lie. What I was saying is truly how I feel, but I wasn't representing that within myself. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And I feel like I've been so far out of that whole industry. And nobody talks about this either, what it feels like to get older and to have your body be on display like that. So if you don't know what mermaiding is, you're like, what in the fuck do you mean body on oh my God. Okay. I just mean that, like, it's a very, like, feminine kind of industry, like boobs and the tail and long hair and all of these things that just, you want rejection sensitive dysphoria, try going viral on YouTube and having so many comments of people calling you fat. And on Instagram, it was even worse, actually. On Instagram, it was truly, like, horrific. I don't even go back to look. And a lot of them I've blocked the comments in a lot of my comment sections because it's rough. And when I say viral, we're talking about like 500 million somewhat. I haven't looked recently. It may be more now. I got an email notification. Hey, it would have been cool to get that channel to 1 million subscribers, but like, for what? That plaque mocks me. It's just like a symbol of everything that I'm not. And it's just so sad. I just want to be me, and maybe one day I can find my way back to mermaiding and let that be the thing that, but it's really hard to be judged. People have no filter on the internet. It's absolutely outrageous. Because would you say that? I mean, maybe you would. Maybe you are that kind of a shitty person who would, And at the time, too, I was right at the beginning so when we had moved in here, it was like 2019, and I was maybe a little heavier than I am now. And then I gained a pretty good chunk of weight. I got all the way to the heaviest that I've ever been. Depression's a bitch, like burnout's a bitch. The pandemic hit, right? I was never leaving the house. And that's when I had filmed a lot of that content that went viral. And a body is a body is a body. What, like, fuck off. Do you know? It was pretty ridiculous. And now, of course, I've lost all that weight and I still don't feel, I don't want to do it. Like everything, like I have a 38-year-old body now, not a 28-year-old body, and I love my body. And I'm not going to subject my body to the bullshit of the internet. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I recently went out and bought myself a new bathing suit. With what money? Whatever, it doesn't matter. I needed a new bathing suit. I was tired of wearing the two-piece to the pool, and I wanted to have just something more functional, a little sporty, and just not mermaid, okay? It's still teal because I love my teal. But yeah. And that has changed. So now I'm actually swimming. I go almost every week now. And I feel like if I can just sort of start from the ground up, maybe I can heal that relationship with myself, because swimming has always been something that has been hugely important to me. You know, playing mermaids at the pool is something that I treasure and cherish, and I want that back, you know? I told you it was going to be a rambly one. I'd love to know what you were working on while you were listening, if you're working on anything or if you were just listening. Let me know how you're doing. You know, give me the update too, right? Every day I dislike myself a little less, though, if that's a win that I can report, you know? The other day I was taking a picture of myself, just, you know, I had a cute little outfit on. And I don't often smile for these pictures. Like, I'd just be like, oh, I just want to see what my outfit looks like, you know? And I had this huge, like, ear to ear, and you could tell that, like, you could see the love in the, like, there was something about how I saw myself in that moment, and seeing that I didn't feel any judgment. And I think I am healing in pieces. Maybe those pieces will come together at some point. That'll be great. Please. I just think it's going to take more than 5 minutes. Like, I hope it doesn't take 38 years to fix the 38 years of trauma, but it would be nice to, you know, to continue to see little bits and little pieces and a little bit of growth and a little bit here and a little bit there. And it hasn't been easy, though. The more I unmask, the more I can see the disappointment. And that's hard. It's hard. And I don't love that for me, you know? But I'm not putting it back in the box, right? I'm not putting it back. I'll die alone if I have to, okay? I'm not putting it back in the box. It's out there now. And it is what it is. So, with that, if you're struggling, like how I've been struggling a little bit recently, let's just be on the struggle bus together. Get in my comment section. Let me know what's been going on, how you've been doing, if you've had any wins, if you've had any struggles. I want to hear about it. And thank you for listening to this ultra random ass video that was supposed to be like 2 other topics that I just could not get together. That is just crazy. And I'm just trying so hard to get ahead of things, you know? Anyways, if you want to join the Discord, we've got a Discord going. Channel memberships are also happening if you'd like to help support what it is that I'm doing. I've got resources up on my Ko-fi if you want to check that out. Free resources, or pay what you'd like to if you wish to support what I'm doing, as always. And that's going to be it for me today. What an awkward video. I love you guys. If you made it to the end of this, let me know. And I will look forward to catching you all again in my next one. Bye for now.